Good Sunday morning to you guys. Just coming on to make a quick video about some more Mandela effects, or things that I think may be Mandela effects. I look a little different today, guys. I have my famous saying that I'm every woman, so my hair is a little different from what you guys are used to seeing on my videos, but I just have a different hairstyle. It's still me. But anyways, I just wanted to come on here and kind of put some questions out there for people, because I love you guys' feedback. But I've been noticing some more things that are just not what I remember them to be. And so I have this dragonfly that comes and he'll like sit like perched on my little railing when I'm sitting on the porch. And it is a very odd looking dragonfly. This dragonfly's body, number one, is like all black. I don't remember dragonflies having like an all black body. I remember their bodies being green. And then this dragonfly also has like these big white eyes. And they have like, I don't know if you guys are like really into stones, but there's a stone called howlite. And the howlite is like a sort of a cream colored, or it could be considered all white stone. And then it has like these gray and black specks in it. Well, that's how the dragonfly's eyes look now. It's like these big pearl looking white eyes with these little gray and black specks. I don't remember that, guys. I remember dragonflies having big black eyes, a green body, and the black wings that are sort of like they have holes in it or something. Now they still have that, but the color of the body's changed. I live in South Carolina. Like I said on previous videos, we have been sprayed apparently for the quote-unquote Zika virus over the last couple of years. They've been spraying for Zika, which we know that's just AKA spraying more shit in the air to kill us. But when they sprayed the first time for the quote-unquote Zika, they killed almost all of our honeybees in the process. So obviously if they killed the honeybees, there's no telling what else they killed as well. So this year I've noticed, like, we live in a marsh type area, and we still have like beautiful ocean fronts or whatever, but all around the other surrounding areas from where the beaches are, there's marshland. And so we see alligators, we see frogs, we see lizards, we see all sorts of reptiles and amphibians, snakes. I have a snake in my yard that sits over in these bush type things. I don't know if you guys can see over there how these bushes look, how they're like lined up. But there's a snake that lives over there, a little black snake. And I don't bother her. She doesn't bother me. And there's, even when I lived at another place, I had a snake in my backyard that never bothered us. The kids would go back there and play. She never bothered them. I always would tease and say, I guess she was our little protection. But, not seen any snakes this year. I've seen one lizard all year long. I've seen one lizard, and where I live, you generally, you can't keep the lizards away, and they will come in your house like at least 2 to 3 times in the summer. We have to get a lizard out of the house. We have to get a frog out of the garage. Not noticed any lizards except one, and it was just a little baby lizard I saw run across my neighbor's house. And I'm always outside. I do yard work. I come out and I just sit, because I like to be out in nature. But there's no lizards this year. I've not seen a lot of squirrels this year. Usually my dog, squirrels and lizards are her favorite animals to play with. She will never kill them, but she will play with them all day. She'll catch the lizards and she'll just chase them around the yard and, put her paw on them so they can't get away, but then eventually she'll let them go. Well, this year I've seen one squirrel and I've seen one lizard, and the squirrel's tail looked like it was messed up or whatever, like he was just damaged or whatever, sick. I mean, has anybody else noticed that they're not seeing the typical animals in nature that you would see all the time? Even the birds have been scarce lately. And I usually have a lot of birds around, but the birds have even been scarce lately. I mean, are they all going somewhere else to get away from something? Like, what's going on? The other thing is, I'm starting to see a lot more shadows. Shadow beings. I've seen shadow beings since I was 7 years old, but lately, I'm starting to see more things like in my peripheral, and I'll turn around and there's nothing there. Or I'll see a bug, like at work. I'll think there's a bug flying, and I work in a corporate building. The probability of a housefly getting up on the floor that we're on is pretty much slim to none. The fly would actually have to get on the elevator, come inside the door, and to be able to get inside of our place. So it's very, very, I'm sure it happens, but it's very, very rare. And so, but I've been seeing little, like, just little things looking like it's flying past me and there's nothing there. Shadows of animals passing by and you'll look and there's nothing there. Manifestations. I've been seeing a lot more manifestations. Like, you'll think of something and then boom, it's there. And like now it's getting like super, super weird. Like, I went to Walmart last night to get my dog some dog food. And generally on the weekends, it's very hard to find her dog food because I guess it's a popular one everybody likes or something, and it's cheap. So I went to go get her dog food, and it wasn't any on the shelf as usual on the weekends. And I was just kind of like, I don't want to have to come back here tomorrow when I get off work. She doesn't have any food, which means I would have had to buy a small one, and I was just not like in the mood for that. So I walked around to the next aisle, and then I came back. I looked up to the top shelf, and there was the dog food. I promise you, I looked all over those shelves before I went to the next aisle, and there was her brand was not there. And then there was this really weird guy when I came in. Like, when I came on the aisle, he looked at me and he smiled, and I smiled back, and I was like, "How are you?" And so when I walked off the aisle and came back, and the dog food was there, and I walked back past him, he smiled really hard, like as if he had something to do with his dog food manifesting. It was super freaking bizarre. And but I'm noticing that, like, I drive Uber, and so this weekend they shut me down because I didn't have my inspection for my car done, which I could have had it done on Friday, but I was just being a loser. I just didn't feel like it. So they shut me down yesterday afternoon. But what was, kind of weird about that is that I've been saying, well, I'm not going to worry about that. I like to make money with Uber, but I can't let it like be like a dictation to my life. Like, if I don't get out an Uber, then I don't have any money or whatever. But I just said, I'm going to be fine. Like, checks in the mail. People giving me money that I didn't expect them to give me. Like, it seems like whatever you put out right now in the ether, or in the matrix, I should say, not the ether, but whatever you just put out there, it's manifesting, and it's manifesting quickly. So those of you that are diviners or whatever, like, if you're trying to manifest, and I'll say this, I'm a person, you guys know I'm always thinking the opposite of what everybody else is thinking or what everybody else agrees with. I'm on the total opposite side of the spectrum. So people that are into like Wiccan and witchcraft and divination, all that kind of stuff to hurt other people, like that's really stupid and childish. Like I just think that is the dumbest thing when we have all these other problems going on in the world. Like, why are you using, if you do have power, why are you using it to hurt somebody else or to take somebody's husband? Like, that is so dumb. Like, that is the dumbest. And with all these, like, Haitian people and people in Africa who know these spells and everything, you know, when you look at other races, they're using this stuff to their advantage to make their life better and their life better for their children, while, you know, the Africans and the Haitians are doing it to put curses on people or to steal a soul of a child for good luck. I mean, all this stuff is stupid. When all there's, you know, when the world is still falling apart around you, you should be using it for better things. And more positive things, because I mean we all got to check out of here at some point. And you know, if all you've done is tried to get somebody's husband your whole life with witchcraft, I mean, like, what purpose did you serve? You might as well have been a housefly and somebody killed you on the wall. I mean, it's just that stupid. But at any rate, I'm ranting. But I'm saying that things are manifesting quickly. Another thing I was just thinking about as I turn my head, houseflies. Like, houseflies are all over the ground, like all over the grass, as if there's like carcasses or dead, something dead that they're trying to fly on. You know how flies love anything disgusting. But they're just everywhere. They're all over the grass. I mean, you can't even really sit down and enjoy your day without being bombarded by flies. And it doesn't have to be anything dirty or nasty around. They're just there. Anybody else noticing that? Gnats. Gnats. I don't know if you guys can see my nose. It's probably hard to see on this camera. But I got bit on the nose by a gnat. I don't remember gnats ever biting. I remember gnats being extremely annoying, extremely rude, and fly up in your face. But I don't remember them biting you. Well, these new age gnats freaking bite. So, has anybody noticed that? Has anybody noticed, you know, that, you know, gnats now bite? Dragonflies are now black. Also, like the frogs. Like, I remember as a kid, frogs being sort of greenish gray color. Well, the frogs that I'm seeing now are all black. And they're huge. Like, they're big old frogs. You know, like, ugh, I hate frogs anyways. I don't like them. We won't kill them. We'll, like, they get in the garage or something, we'll just, like, take the broom and make them get out or whatever. And my son, he's so, like, into nature, he'll just pick them up and move them out. But it's just weird. I mean, have you guys noticed these changes? Have you noticed these differences? I know there's all kinds of frogs and probably all kinds of dragonflies, but I just don't remember them looking like this, and I don't remember them in this region being these colors. You guys let me know what you think. Have you noticed these things? Are you guys seeing manifestations, things happening quickly? Are you seeing like more shadow beings? Have you always seen them and it seems like it's getting more intense? The moon last night. Did anybody see the moon last night? It looks so distorted. And I know we have that saying that says, you know, every blue moon where there's a moon out there that's like, you know, with that blue lining around it, like that big blue light. But this one was really bright last night. And the moon looked like Play-Doh. It looked like somebody had tried to just take a piece of Play-Doh and just put it together and then just throw it up there. I mean, this looks so distorted. We got a lunar eclipse coming. If that hasn't already happened, solar eclipse that's actually ending in my town. The last of it happens in Charleston. Also, Charleston is an original slave port. You know, this solar eclipse has a lot of prophecy of, you know, 400 years of, you know, torment and abuse of, you know, the so quote unquote true Hebrew Israelites or whatever, which would be the black people of America. But supposedly there's some prophecy that it's supposed to be the 400 years ending. But what is bizarre about this is that the solar eclipse ends in Charleston, which is an original slave port. So very, 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 very cool, but also very like, wow, is this really the end of it? But which is, it kind of suits the narrative, because racism has really increased. It's like, I mean, it's almost sad how racist people are these days. And It seems like it's intensifying. I had posted a video, and I don't know if some of you saw the Smith, that's what I call them, the Smiths, that came in and put a horrible comment under my thing, calling me a nigger and all this stuff. And the crazy thing was, my video was not even about anything that had to do with race. So it was just really sad. And, I think that people that are racist have some kind of mental illness, because, I mean, what has this race done to you that is keeping you from completing or doing anything in your life? I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me. And if a person had a choice to change their color, as people change their genders, if I had a choice to identify as a white woman tomorrow or identify as a white man tomorrow, I can't do that, because my color is not going to change tomorrow. It won't change ever. So, it just has to be some kind of mental illness to just hate a race of people because of their skin. But anyways, guys, you know me, I love to rant, so I'm gonna go ahead and end the video. But you guys chime in. I love your comments. Of course, comment, subscribe. I don't make videos all the time, but I try to make them, be sort of important things that we can kind of have a discussion about. But you guys have a good Sunday and a good week. I will talk to you guys next week.